Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the Mouth of North, Andrew Reese, and we are live for another show as Week 16 of the NFL season ended. We are now on Week 17. Lots of playoff matches are starting to be talked about. A lot of positions are still available. The number one seed has not been decided yet, and there's a lot of excitement for mine and Jose's San Francisco 49ers. Gil, we will talk about your Packers, who I still don't know how they lost to the Bears, but we'll get to that. 49ers, Brock Purdy looks like a Super Bowl quarterback. The Super Bowl is in San Francisco this year, and I'm getting excited. Jose, are you getting excited?
Let's, that defense needs a lot of help. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think they can. Hey, the offense is putting up points, but I don't know. That defense needs improvement. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. Um, yeah, the 49ers, they were able to stop Philip Rivers in the second half. In the first half, it was a shit show. What I'm encouraged by is their wins over the Rams and the Seahawks in Seattle and LA. And I don't think there's a standout team in the NFC. Even the Rams look vulnerable when they blew their lead last week in horrific fashion. I don't think the Bears are real. We're going to find out about the Bears this week because they play in San Francisco. Huge game there. Gil, you need a tie or a win in your final two games to clinch a playoff spot. Detroit can only get in if you lose your last two games, so you're still in a good spot. Jordan Love has a concussion, and Malik Willis looked awesome last week. I gotta say, looked really good. He's a guy who should get a job next year, possibly for the Colts, who are not going to have a quarterback next year unless they bring back the Pillsbury Doy boy, who looked like an all-pro last week against the 49ers defense. So we'll get into talking about that. But let's get to our picks, and I'll bring up the teams and their scenarios as we go along. Let's start with Christmas Day. That's right, NBA. You see, the NFL is not messing around anymore. They're not giving you the Christmas so you can have a five-game quadruple header, quintuplet header, and no competition. Now, the NFL is saying that's enough. We're going to have our games, and we're going to take away all your ratings. So let's start with the Dallas Cowboys, who, I mean, just got annihilated by the Chargers last week. They're basically out of the playoffs. I don't know how they get in. I think they're officially out now. They go to Washington to take on a Commanders team that lost their backup quarterback and may start Josh Johnson. If that is the case, this is going to be a beating. And even if it's not the case, it probably is as well. I'm taking the Cowboys. Even though the Cowboys are out, they seem to still want to try to win games. They just ran into a Chargers team that they just couldn't stop because their defense is horrible. But I think they'll be able to outscore Washington. As you can see, our records are on there, guys. Really good week for me and Jose. Gil, not so much, but everyone's still alive. Jose, who do you got in this one?
I got Dallas. Dallas with Mariota or with Daniels always seems to beat them. I think Dak Prescott's like 9-1 against them or whatever. He has a crazy record against them. Yeah, the Washington Commanders are mangled with injuries, so I'm taking Dallas.
Can I just point out, I can't believe Josh Johnson still has a job in the NFL. Did anyone watch him play against the Eagles in the championship game? Like the guy got hurt after five plays. Like I don't know how he still has a job. Gil, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Washington. I'm gonna go with Joe
Wow,
Biden's team.
Biden's team. Wow,
Yeah,
why?
they're at home. They're at home. Dallas defense didn't look good, but I don't know. I just have this thing that they're gonna win. I'm gonna go with Washington.
Okay, all right. Gil needs to catch up. So let's go to a very important game on Christmas as the Detroit Lions go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The math here is very simple. Detroit has to win or they're out of the playoffs. I don't know how they lost to Pittsburgh last week, but what I will say is they stopped the run game and they left it up to Goff, and you see what the result was. Um, Pittsburgh ran the ball excellent against Detroit. They could not stop the run, and Detroit got a couple of questionable pass interference calls at the end of the game, which almost cost me a fantasy spot in the finals. Thankfully, it didn't. But Pittsburgh now looks to be firmly in the playoffs. If they win this week, they get a bye. But we'll talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers later. I think Detroit wins this game because it's Max Bosmer starting for Minnesota. Gil, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit as well. But to me, there was no calls controversial. Like when I look at that replay, see Brown clearly pushed the guy.
I agree. I
That's
agree.
pure pass interference. There's nothing to talk
I don't know
about
about
there.
the first one. I'm not sure about the first one, although Tesla did like body check the guy. So
Well, but that last one there was St. Brown. That was
yeah,
like how is that not a pass interference? What are people even
yeah.
like complaining about? But whatever.
No, I don't think the second one was the problem. The first one, we'll see. But two POIs to cause the team a game has rarely happened, but it happened.
Yeah.
Jose, who do you got?
I got Detroit. They need to win the game to keep their playoff alive. Um, as you guys talking about the PI. The second one, the last one was a PI, but the first one's not a PI. The guy runs
Yeah,
into the
I
wide
didn't.
receiver,
Yeah,
and it should have been a touchdown, but whatever. Anyways, that's football. These referees are horrible. Sometimes they make stupid calls, but it is what it is. Give me the trick.
I found it interesting after the game, Gil, that Rogers mentioned Mexico after the game.
Oh,
He said, I think,
it's not in Green Bay. I'm always watching these guys fumble onside kicks. It's retarded.
we'll get to Green Bay, Gil. You're going to get to say your piece. Don't worry. I'm not going to waste too much time in this game. The Denver Broncos are going for the 1 seed. They go to KC to take on a guy I've never heard of, a 7th-round pick, and the broken Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Broncos. I told you guys last week that they were vulnerable and the Jaguars were for real, and they kicked Denver's ass, but Denver will rebound and win this game. Gil, what do you think of your boy Bo Nix last week against Goldilocks, and who do you got this week?
Well, I think Denver rebounds this week. KC's all banged up. They're all like trying to figure themselves out. So I think they'll win. As of last week, Jacksonville played it as it was a playoff game, and I think Denver didn't take it like that, right? I just think that was the difference, and we'll see. But I think Denver is for real, and I think they're gonna go for it. So, but this game, obviously, I think Denver should win.
Jose.
Yeah, I agree. There's Kansas City's got nothing to play for, and Denver's got the first seed overall to win. So yeah, give me Denver. I think they're gonna blow them out.
Yeah, this could be ugly, guys. We'll see if KC has any pride left. But my God, the way they looked against Tennessee and Cam Ward, it doesn't look like they give a damn. Let's go to the Houston Texans, who were a massive disappointment last week. The Raiders almost won that game and could have won that game if not for a miracle catch by Nico Collins at the end of the game. They go to the Chargers LA to take on the Chargers. The Chargers have been very impressive. They find ways to win games. They're playing good defense. They're running the football well. And Justin Herbert doesn't look great, but he makes plays when he has to. Having said that, the team that looks better is the team I'm going to take, and that's the Chargers. Just when I think I can trust the Texans, they play a game like that. And so I'm going to go with the Chargers. Now, the Chargers need this game as much as Houston, and let me tell you why. If they win this game, they can play Denver for the AFC West title next week. So we'll see how that works out, but it is possible that the Chargers can still win the AFC West title. Jose, who do you got in this one? I got the Chargers.
I got Houston in this one. When
Wow.
Chargers when they play tough defenses, Herbert tends to struggle. They have a good secondary. I think they'll stop the run game, and and I think is on the roll right now. They're probably one of the hottest teams. Yeah, they struggle. They played bad last week, but it's one of those games that or you do what has to be done to win the game, and they did it. Um, LA, I don't know. I like Houston the way they're playing right now. Stroud's playing like a first year when he came to the NFL. He's doing his thing with Nico Collins. They're rushing the ball now too with Chubb and all those guys. So yeah, give me Houston. And probably if Denver wins the game, then I won't be surprised if LA starts resting the players. because they already made the playoffs. They can't go up or down or anything like that. They're gonna stay more or less where they are. So if Denver wins, then there's no point of playing for the seeds for number one. So whatever.
Shout out to Austin Genty. You came up huge for me against the terrible defense and got me to the championship final. So I thank you for that. For my dad, listen very carefully. Take the under in this game. It's going to be low scoring, 16-13 max. Okay. Gil, who do you got?
I think it's tough, but I think I'm going to take Houston as well. Based off the defense, I just think Chargers are going to have a hard time scoring on them. And Stroud Collins, I think they're going to do what they got to do, like Jose said. So I'm going to take Houston.
You're not concerned about how they looked against Vegas at home last week, though?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a very interesting game. Both teams need it, but Houston better win because they're pretty much in, but not quite yet. So they gotta still play. All right, let's go to the pathetic Baltimore Ravens, who, as I predicted, lost to New England. They blew an 11-point lead. Another John Harbaugh blown lead in the fourth quarter. Lamar Jackson exits with a back injury. Huntley actually looked better than him when he came into the game. With 10 minutes left in the game, Derrick Henry does not see the football field in the fourth quarter. Awful coaching. John Harbaugh needs to go. Terrible running management of the clock. Drake May comes back. They win. Now Baltimore in a situation where they have to win out and hope Pittsburgh loses their last two games. They go to Green Bay to take on a Packers team that's as desperate as they are. I don't see any chance Baltimore goes to Green Bay and wins. I'm taking the Packers. Gil, this is your team. I'm going to talk about your team a little bit, and then I want you to tell me what you saw and what you thought last week. But I don't know how they lost that game. They kept Caleb Williams quiet to 3 points most of the game. They dropped an onside kick, and then that miracle comeback happens, and I can't understand. I just don't know how it happened.
Yeah, they broke down the last 8 minutes of the game. Chicago was never in the game at all. Yeah. Bad bounces and stuff like that, and that's what happens. And there it is, that onside kick again.
Yep.
It seems to happen to them. Seems to happen to them a lot. This Baltimore game is very tricky.
You think so?
I don't know. I feel like they should win. Baltimore's in a must-win. Lamar Jackson's still Lamar Jackson. I don't know if the Packers can run around with him. I'm going to take the Packers because they're at home. Am I really confident? Not really.
I was impressed the way they played last week, despite the injury to Parsons. They really shut down Chicago's offense until the fourth. So I was impressed even though they lost. Jose, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay as well. I just think Baltimore, their season's coming to an end. Too many blown leads. We don't even know if Lamar's playing. He's questionable. I don't know. I don't like their team right now the way they're playing right now. So Green Bay has this game's more important for Green Bay. If they win, they clinched the last playoff spot. So give me Green Bay.
Listening to John Harbaugh after that game explain how Derrick Henry did not see the field the last 10 minutes of the game is a guy who needs to be fired. Like, there's no explanation for it. He's sitting on there with a coat beside Lamar Jackson. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Let's go to Tampa Bay, one of the most disappointing second-half teams in the NFL this year. They found a way to lose to Carolina last week. Jose was right. They're probably going to split. Having said that, in order for the last game of the season to mean something, they need to go to Miami and beat Quentin Ewers and the Dolphins, and they should win in Miami. But I've said that the last 3 weeks, and they've been a massive disappointment. Baker once again throws a pick, and I have no idea who he was looking at when he made that throw, and they lose again. But I just got to believe they'll win in Miami to at least have a chance to win the division next week. But I have no faith in that pick at all. Miami looks done, but I don't know. I got to believe Tampa will show up for this one. But if they miss the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of changes and a lot of firings happening in Tampa Bay. Gil, who do you got in this one?
Well, I think Tampa should win. Last week, that pick you're talking about, Mike Evans ran the wrong route, and that's what happened. He was supposed to go left, he turned right. He forgot his left from right. So that was actually Evans' fault. But I'm going to take Tampa. Tampa has to win this game. I feel like they're more energetic. I feel like they're more than Miami. Miami just looks dead. I'm going to take Tampa.
Jose, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Tampa as well. Miami garbage defense. Baker Mayfield's gonna tear them apart. He's gonna have all the time in the world to find these wide receivers, and they're gonna win this game easily. Give me the Bucks.
All right, I'm not going to waste too much time in this game. This is a game that's really important to New England. They have a chance to still finish first in the conference. It's unlikely, but they can. They've already won the AFC East, I believe. They go to New York to take on the hapless Jets. The Jets lost 29-6 to Tyler Show last week and allowed Chris Olave to score 30 points in fantasy, which cost me another final. I got New England by a lot. Jose.
Yeah, New England should kill
him. Gil.
Yeah, New England. We shouldn't have to waste our time.
No. Now let's go to a game that should be interesting, even though it's very important for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, here's the scenario. Pittsburgh wins this week. They have a bye next week because they don't have to play for anything. They're going to finish as the division winner. They can't move up or down. Rodgers and everyone gets to take a break, and they can wait till the playoffs. Now, we already know DK Metcalf is suspended until the end of the regular season because of punching a fan, because he's an idiot. Now, they got to go to Cleveland to take on the Browns. This is not an easy game. Sanders did not look great last week. They lost Judkins, their top running back. So this is going to be difficult for them to score. They did play well against Buffalo last week, keeping themselves in that game. But I think it's going to be really, really tough for them to keep up with Pittsburgh, even though they're at home, because if Pittsburgh runs the ball as effectively as James Cook did last week and Tony Pollard did before, they're going to lose at home again. So I've got Pittsburgh and Rodgers getting the bye that he mentioned after the game he desperately wants. Bill.
Yeah, I'm going to take them. I think the Steelers have something good. They played well against the Lions. Cleveland has the defense, but Junkins out. Looks like he broke his leg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they'll have problems. Yeah. Problems running on that Pittsburgh. They're going to rely on the throwing, and I don't think that's going to happen. So I think Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah, I mean, Sanders, we're going to see what Sanders is about because he's going to have to throw it because they're not going to be able to run on that Pittsburgh defense. They shut down Gibbs big time last week. Jose, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh as well. In a close one, it's going to be run and D for Pittsburgh, and it's going to be a low scoring one. But I see Steelers squeaking one out.
Yeah, low scoring. Dad, if you're listening, low scoring game. Think about taking the under in that one as well. But Pittsburgh wins and gets the bye they want. Now, Baltimore, the game is meaningless if Pittsburgh wins, so keep that in mind. Now let's go to a nothing game. The Arizona Cardinals, who let Gil down last week, they somehow lost to Kirk Cousins. I cannot believe Jose. That might be the first time I've guessed right on Kirk Cousins. I can't believe it. They actually won. They go to Cincinnati to take on a Bengals team that remembered how to play football and remembered how joyful it was to play. And because of that, they're going to have a field day with the Cardinals. So expect a lot of fantasy points from Cincinnati and a high-scoring win for them, maybe in the 40-20 range. Gil, who do you got?
I agree. I think Cincinnati has a field day on that Arizona defense. Maybe Burrows might get back into it. Higgins, Chase, Brown. Brown had a big week last week too. So
Brown had a field day.
So I think Cincinnati's a perfect game for them to get a vibe back.
Jose, who do you got?
I got Cincy. Cincy is gonna put up another 40 points. It's gonna be a high scoring game though. Arizona's been putting up some points too. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
McBride Chase type of game, with Brown as well. It's gonna be a high scoring fest. So if you take the over, if you,
yeah. Dad, if you're listening, take the over. That's a big over for sure. Now let's get to the surprising New Orleans Saints, who we all thought would win one game this year and have now won five. The second round pick, Tyler Show, has actually played very well. They're going to Tennessee to take on Cam Ward, and you guys can disagree with me or not, but I think Tyler Show's been the best rookie quarterback in this draft, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Having said that,
no.
who's been the best rookie quarterback this year?
Jackson Dart, are you kidding me?
He's been better than Show. Okay, all right.
Well, Jackson Darts
I don't know.
hasn't been better than Shaw. Are you kidding me?
I'm
When
not
everybody's
saying
healthy on that team, like, come on, man. When
well,
everybody was healthy,
of course, when everyone's healthy. I'm talking
oh
about
yeah,
the guy. The
okay,
guy threw for 31 yards and threw 5 passes last week. Like,
yeah.
and Show
Well,
threw for
that was the game plan. That was not to throw the ball. It was to run the ball. Like, what do you want me to say? And blame the coach. It's not his fault that they're calling plays not to throw the ball.
I would
I don't
agree
mean,
it's dark, but I also think that Show's been good. Show's been good.
Show's been good at the end of the season when they're playing shit teams. They're look at the teams
Yeah,
that they've been playing. Like in any
yeah,
against a good team, they haven't done anything. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I have high hopes for Dart next year. I just think it was a joke, that game plan they had from last week. It's like, let's do whatever we can to protect them. We're not going to let them run the football. We don't want them to pass. They didn't throw a pass until there was 2 minutes left in the first half. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you can't protect the kid from, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hit. I like, it's just stupid. You're not preparing them to do anything next year. But they play the Raiders. We'll get to them later. Anyway, I think Show's better than Ward, so I've got New Orleans. Gil, I know you're not a fan of Ward. Are you impressed at all with Show?
Yeah, it was impressive, but they're not playing anybody big, right?
No, I understand. They did beat Tampa Bay.
But yeah, but yeah, they have something going, kind of. But Tennessee also beat KC. They're trying to get something going too. I'm going to take Tennessee just because they're at home.
Okay. Tennessee. Jose, who do you got?
I'm gonna take the New Orleans right now. They're offensively they're playing well. Olave's been doing well. They're moving with that quarterback. They've been playing well too. Defense is stepping up a little bit, and I think they're gonna confuse this rookie quarterback and make him force some turnovers and stuff. So they're gonna squeak one out. Give me New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, I know they played the Jets last week. He did throw for 300 yards, and they had no running back at all. Like, all three of them were hurt. So, hey, man, give credit where credit's due. But yeah, I like Jackson Dart a lot. I almost forgot because he played so bad last week. I almost forgot about him. This one I'm not going to waste too much time on. The Indianapolis Colts have lost 5 in a row. They're starting a 44-year-old quarterback who somehow threw for 270 yards against San Francisco's defense. However, they play Jacksonville's defense this week, and it's not going to be pretty. I got the Jags, who clinched the division, and believe it or not, have a chance at the 1 seed. So I got Jacksonville all day in this one to crush Indianapolis, whose defense has completely fallen apart in the second half of the season. Trading those picks for Sauce Gardner, not looking so good right now. Jose, who do you got?
I already told you there's best taxes and the Jags beating the Colts even when they're shit. So give me the Jags.
Gil, who do you got? And have you been impressed with Goldilocks?
Well, I'm gonna take Jacksonville because, like, Jose's right. Even when Indy is playing well, Jacksonville still beats them.
That's right.
So why wouldn't they beat them now? But yeah, Trevor Lawrence probably is the best he's ever played for the past 3 4
100%.
years.
Absolutely.
Finally, I guess it's what the Jags are waiting for. They still have a lot to prove, but looks like they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything about Lawrence, but until last week, but that was a very impressive win in Denver. Like, I can't take anything away from him. I mean, he looked great. Let's go to Seattle, the Seabags, who, I mean, that was one of the most miraculous comebacks I've ever seen. And then we got the Green Bay Chicago comeback right after. But down 30-16, Jose's laughing at everyone. And then all of a sudden, we get a miracle 2-point conversion. We get a return from Rashid Shaheed for a touchdown, and the game's tied at 30. And then we get a 2-point conversion in overtime, a miracle comeback. It makes me doubt the Rams because they find ways to choke games like this. But Seattle impressive. Darnold, after stinking up the joint for a half, came back and won a big game for the first time in his career, it feels like. They go to Carolina to take on the Panthers. I'm taking the Seahawks here because they're great on the road. I think they're a better team. Carolina is still not convinced me they're actually good. And I think that this game, they're going to lose this game so that the final game means something, and Tampa and Carolina will battle it out for the worst team to make the playoffs. Give me the Seabags. Gil, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Seattle, but it's more because of their defense will hold them in. I think Carolina will struggle, and then Darnold will get a couple of points, but I think they're going to win. Their D's going to hold it up.
Jose?
Yeah, I agree. I think their D's gonna hold them up in this game, and they'll run the ball and they'll squeak out a win against Carolina. I think Carolina. Everybody underestimates Carolina, but they're not the bad of a team. They run the ball pretty well. They did the freaking Young played pretty well. 2 for 2 touchdowns last game. Did his thing, but I think Seattle on the road is a different animal. I think they play better on the road than they do at home. So yeah, give me Seattle.
This is also a massive game for the Seabags because they don't want to go into that final game playing San Francisco with the 1 seed on the line. So they better win that game. Because San Francisco, believe it or not, can get the 1 seed. Amazing. They can get it after that Seahawks win last week. So we shall see. All right, let's go to the Giants, who continue to lose games and look pathetic doing it. They go to Vegas to take on the Raiders, who played a very good game against the Houston Texans last week. Austin Gentry ran for 150 yards for the first time in his career. Also had a 60-yard touchdown pass, which was mightily helpful to win fantasy for me. I just don't like the way the Giants are game planning their football games. If they're going to have Jackson, if they're afraid to play Jackson Dart, then don't play him. Otherwise, let him play the game that he's used to playing. Having said that, I'm going to take Vegas because the Giants' defense is terrible, and I don't like what they did with Jackson Dart last week. So if Max Crosby's out there and they get scared, they're probably going to run the football and not let him pass. So I got Vegas. Jose?
I got the Giants. I just think the Giants have more offensive weapons than than Vegas. I think they'll expose that secondary. I think they'll throw the ball more this week.
I hope you're right.
And yeah, so I'm gonna take the Giants.
If I'm Vegas, I'm running the football all day against that Giants run defense. But you never know with Pete Carroll. Gil?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Vegas. I just think the Giants are just in a problem. But they're both not doing well. But Vegas at least showed some life last week, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Vegas.
This has major implications for the draft as well. The winner is going to get a worse draft pick. So it could be the battle of who wants to lose it more. And the way I saw the Vegas play last week and the Giants, it looks like the Giants want to lose these games. So that's the reason I'm taking Vegas. Let's get to a massive game as the Philadelphia Eagles go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Eagles, won pretty easily against Washington last week after the injuries. That game was over. Buffalo snuck out a win against the Browns. It got very iffy towards the end. Cleveland had a chance to tie the game. This is a battle of a bad run defense in the Bills against an Eagles team that struggles offensively. And so it's a very tough game to pick. But because Buffalo's run defense is so bad, I actually think Philly's going to win this game. So I'm going to take the Eagles because Buffalo has a major problem with their run defense. They can't stop running quarterbacks. And Buffalo just hasn't impressed me all season long, unless it's been against bad teams, other than the comeback against New England. I just don't. Both teams have been iffy, but because of the Bills' run defense, I think Saquon has a big day and Philly wins. Yep.
I don't know. I think this is a Buffalo game, man. I see them at home. I think Allen is going to have a great game. And Philly's been very slow. They don't look like a championship team. I just don't. I just feel the Bills on this one with the vibe at home. The Bills need to win, get momentum into the playoffs. Uh, so I think they're gonna win.
Jose, who do you got?
It's a tough game to pick. I'm gonna take Philly as well. I just think their run game. They're gonna run the game, the clock, and they're gonna control the game. I think Josh Allen's gonna have a good game, but they need to pass the ball more on that against that secondary. I think Philly's a good run team, so if they're gonna depend on the run game, I think Philly will stop the run game, and then they're gonna force Allen to throw it to nobody out, like he has no wide receivers. So in saying that, I think I'm gonna take Philly. I like Philly.
By the way, Jose, I'm not sure I said it on the show, but you and I talked about Josh Allen having a bad game last week, and boy, was I right. He had the worst fantasy game all season against the Browns. So I hope you started Jared Goff, although he wasn't much better.
What do you mean he wasn't much better? He got 33 points. He got 37 points on fantasy.
Goff got 37?
Yeah. He got 30,
Really?
30. Yeah, he got like three touchdowns.
Not that much. Oh,
Yeah,
my
he
God. I wasn't
he
looking, but I didn't think he got that much. Okay. All right. Okay, good.
He's the one who kept me in, man. And then freaking George
Beautiful.
Kittle on Monday finished it off. I won by
There you
2
go.
in my semifinal too.
I'm glad you started Goff because I thought Allen would have a bad game last week, and he did. That against Myles Garrett was just inches away from breaking that record every time. He was just so close to getting him, eh? So I think he's like half a sack away from the record now. So watch out, Aaron Rodgers. He's coming for you. All right, let's get to the biggest game for me this week. As the Chicago Bears go to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, this is a huge game that will determine a lot of playoff seeding and a lot of what's going to happen this year in the playoffs. The San Francisco 49ers, believe it or not, have a chance at the 1 seed. Brock Purdy looked awesome last week. I know it was against the Indiana defense, but he looked awesome last week. He was throwing all over the field. He had 5 touchdown passes. They couldn't stop the offense at all. Mac Jones was put out there to kneel the football, which I thought was funny, burying his chances of ever starting for this team again, which was great to hear. The Bears, I don't trust. I'm sorry. I watched their offense last week against the Packers. They had 3 points. Williams looked terrible for most of the game. They couldn't run the football on Green Bay. Now, San Fran's defense is nothing to write home about, but Caleb Williams has had multiple opportunities against bad defenses and has failed to throw the football with any consistency. Now, the problem I have with this game is if Chicago decides to run it, then we're in trouble. But if we can get up early and Caleb has to throw the ball, then the 49ers win. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think the 49ers get up early. They have Christian McCaffrey out there. They've got Purdy out there. I don't think Chicago's defense can stop them. As long as Purdy doesn't make mistakes and throw interceptions, they win the game. The last time they played Chicago, they pumped them. So I'm going to take the 49ers with the hopes that they still have a chance at the 1 seed, and that knocks the Bears off their pedestal of winning these games in the last second. The Bears have won 5 games this season being down in the 4th quarter. I don't think that's going to last very much longer. So 49ers win. Jose, I can see you're a little scared. What do you got?
Listen, it's not I'm scared. I just don't like this defense. Let freaking old man freaking Rivers throw 300 yards on them and for 3 touchdowns. I don't have a problem with them rushing because I think they'll stop the rush. The Niners are not bad against the run. They did pretty well against Jonathan Taylor, and then they started just throwing the ball around. the Niners will give up the yards and we'll give them first downs and stuff, and then it's just about the matter about kicking field goals instead of getting letting in touchdowns. And I see them doing that. I see that offense keep rolling. Yeah, I'm gonna take San Francisco as well. I think their offense are rolling right now, and they were saying that there's been like how many weeks since the punter already has the last time that he had punt. I think it was like freaking November or something.
Yeah.
That was the last time that he had a punt. So you know what? Just keep rolling with that offense. He has the weapons. So hopefully George Kittle plays. He got hurt last game, but hopefully he's okay. And then yeah, they should be do their thing.
So basically, we've become the Colts, Jose, in the
What's
last
that?
4 games. We've become the Colts the last 4 games. We don't punt.
Yeah, I guess.
Remember early season, the first game, the Colts
Yeah,
didn't punt
yeah,
the
no, it's
football.
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there we go. We've taken over, Barbosa. If you're watching, now we're the team to worry about. Gil, I know you're not taking the Bears.
Well, no, even because last week their win was that was talk about, God being on your side. That's exactly what it was for them last week because I watched the game and they were nowhere near the game. They didn't even look like they were there. So they got those like I said, last 8 minutes, they got everything just went their way. It was just unbelievable. Uh, but no, I don't trust them. I think the Niners can hold them up. Uh, I think they'll have a hard time stopping McCaffrey. I think that's going to be the outcome of the game, and the Niners are going to win.
If the Niners can get the 1 seed, they host the Super Bowl this year. And I'm telling you what, if they can get the 1 seed, I'm going to get really excited about trying to pick them for the Super Bowl, even though they don't look like the best team. That if they get the 1 seed and they have the Super Bowl at home, that's a hell of a motivator, I tell you. Let's get to the final game as the LA Rams go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. As much as I'd love for the Rams to lose this game, I got zero faith that Kirk Cousins can win this game on Monday night against Stafford, even at home. It's the old Cousins in prime time. He ain't winning. I got the Rams. Gil?
Oh yeah, the Rams. Kirk Cousins is going to have a hard time, and the Rams are upset about last week. That's for sure. Against the Seahawks, they're gonna do whatever they do. They gotta do what they gotta do, and they're hoping for the Bears to win anyways. But they gotta do what they gotta do. But I don't think Atlanta stands a chance.
And if the Rams lose this game, they drop to the 6th seed. So I'll tell you, there's going to be a lot of these games are so important for the NFC West teams for positioning. Jose, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take LA. Offensively, they're solid. Last week, I think they thought they was already in the bag, and then the momentum is crazy in football, man. When you get that momentum, this is the same thing what happened with the Bears. They got the momentum, and then they ended up getting those freaking lucky plays and shit, and scored that winning touchdown in overtime. But it is what it is. I don't see Kirk Cousins doing that this week. So yeah, give me the Rams in the bounce back game.
Well, those are our Week 17 picks. Now, as you can see by the records there, Jose holds a 2-game lead over me and has a 5-game lead over Gil. Still lots of time left, 2 weeks to go. Coming up on the Reese Report very soon. I don't know when, but it will be next week at some point. We're going to give you our Team Canada teams. Guys, don't forget to pick out your Team Canada teams as they're going to announce the team on December 30th. Also, we will have a show on the NCAA football semifinals. We're going to get some picks from the guys. We have Miami, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Indiana, and Ole Miss, Georgia. So I'll get the guys who are way better football experts than me to give you picks on those. I believe both Gil and Jose had Alabama last week, which was I asked about. Impressive. They kicked OU's ass. So the semis are January 1st. So when we do our show next week for Week 18, we will also give you a preview of the college football semifinals. But that's our show for this week, guys. Not much else to say. For all you out there watching and listening, wish me luck in the final. Because I would love nothing more than to win Steve Souza's final in my first season in his fantasy draft. It would be great, especially after being called Fleece Reese all season. It'd be one of the greatest moments of my life if I won. I'm gonna have to figure out a celebration if it happens, but I've got a lot of work to do because that Kyle Souza's got a hell of a team, and so I'm gonna be. I have my work cut out for me. We'll see. You guys, is anyone else in finals here? Anybody? Jose, you in a final?
Jose is no.
Jose, you're in a final.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So who are you facing in the final?
I'm facing Ian.
Okay. So no Mitchell and no Chris. All right. So
I took out Chris.
I know he took out Chris. I wish I could post this video, guys.
That's why he's not here.
Yeah, I know. No one's watching now. No one wants to talk now. Right?
And then I took out the first place guy by 2 points this week. I was shitting bricks yesterday, but watching the game. But oh well.
Guys, you have no idea how amazing this is. Both me and Gil needed Tyler Warren to not get another 2 points. We were watching the same game, hoping for the same thing. I couldn't even watch the game. You understand? I could not watch. I wanted to watch the 49ers because I love watching my team. I couldn't watch the game because I was so nervous about Warren getting 6 points. And
what screwed up everything was Kittle getting hurt. Because if Kittle doesn't get hurt, he gets more catches and more yards. I know it would have been okay. But he got hurt, and then he ended up catching up a couple of balls at the end of the game. And then I was like, oh, thank God that guy picked that freaking ball because it was going right to him too.
Yeah.
And and it would have been Jesus Christ. But anyways, it is what it is.
That game had a lot on the line more than just watching San Francisco, man. I was sweating buckets. But yes, me and Jose are in the finals. We're happy. So we'll update you on that next week. But for now, on the Mouth of North Andrew Reese, that's Jose Carlos Gomes and Gil Santos wearing the Manchester United jersey, looking like Bruno Fernandes over there. We will see you next week on the Reese Report. And bye for now.